Hey, my little cupcakes, I have a really good story today. I hope you like it. Lines, letters, squiggles, and words. Lines, squiggles, letters, and words. Hope you like it. Here we go. Our adventure. Pedro was often amazed by how funny the world is and how many things are in the world, by all the things we understand and all the things we don't. Pedro was so amazed. See him at the window? Checking out everything. From his window and all along the streets, Pedro saw all kinds of posters, billboards, and signs. He could understand some of what he saw, like the picture of tigers, apples, and roosters, but there were other pictures that Pedro didn't understand. So he looked out his window and he could see pictures of things, tigers, roosters, but some things he didn't understand the words, what they meant. What's that a picture of, Mom? It's a street name, his mom would reply. Pedro looked and looked, but didn't see a street name. All he saw was a bunch of drawings. One day, Pedro's mom told him, "Tomorrow you will be starting school. You will learn to read and you will understand many more things." "What things, Mom?" Pedro asked. "Well, to begin with the letters and numbers you're always asking about." So Pedro was going to start school the next day, and his mom said, "You're going to learn, understand what you're asking about, the letters and the numbers." The next morning, Pedro and his mother set out early for his first day of school. When they got to the corner, his mom said, "The best way to get to school is on the bus." "Which bus are we going to take, Mom?" Pedro asked. "The one that will take you straight there." "But how do you know which one that is?" "I look at the sign in front. We want the one that says Rio Bonito." So Mom said, "We're looking for a bus that says Rio Bonito. It'll take you right to your school." When the bus arrived, Pedro said, "I don't see any Rio Bonito." Instead, he saw a sign with some drawings that looked like this. Pedro's mother smiled and they got on the bus. So here's the bus that had the words on it, but he didn't understand. Looked like squigglies. Pedro's teacher was tall with round glasses. She showed the children a big colorful poster. "A is for apple," said the teacher. "A is for apple," the children repeated. The teacher wrote a big A on the board. So here's Pedro's teacher. She's tall with round glasses, and she was teaching them the letter A, and she had them repeat it like Miss O'Dwyer does. When Pedro left school, he had a big surprise. Suddenly he saw that the signs, billboards, and shop windows all had his teacher's A. Everywhere Pedro looked, he caught sight of an A. So he learned the A in school, and when he left, he saw it everywhere. And he had never noticed it before. He didn't know what it was. He tugged at his mother's skirt. "Look at all the A's on the wall." His mother laughed. So everywhere he looked, he saw A. At home, everything Pedro picked up had an A on it. His parents' newspaper, the laundry detergent, even the tube of toothpaste. So suddenly he was seeing the letter A everywhere. He never noticed it before. He didn't know what it was. The next day, Pedro's teacher put another poster on the wall. D. So she put the big poster on the wall. D. "D, D, D," said the teacher. "D, D, D," the children recited. "D is for day. D is for dice. D is for duck. D is for dog." The children repeated again and again. When Pedro left school, he looked at all the signs and billboards. So they were working on the letter D. She said it's for dog, dice, duck. They were practicing the D. Among other squiggles and lines, he saw the A's and D's his teacher had made. So now he's noticing the A's and the D's that he had never noticed before. He didn't know the other letters, but he knew those two. When Pedro got home, he ran to tell his dad. "Dad, guess what? When I'm at school, they paint the books, signs, and packages and walls with the letters I'm learning. His dad smiled. That's because you're learning how to see, Pedro. But I've always known how to see, Dad, ever since I was a baby. That's true, son, but now, through your letters, you're starting to understand more and more of what you see. Pedro scratched his head, wondering what his dad meant. So he told his father he was understanding more things, and his father said, now you're going to learn to see. Pedro said, I already can see, but he said, you'll understand more if you can understand the words and the letters and the words. But the miracle continued to happen. Each new letter Pedro learned appeared everywhere he went. On his way home from school every day, Pedro looked eagerly at everything around him. And there were his letters popping out from signs and packages, buses, and poles. So he would learn a new letter, and he would look for it and see it. Everywhere he went, he would see one of the letters that he had learned on the signs all over. One day when Pedro was walking home, he looked again at the sign on the street where he lived, Rua del Sol. Putting together the letters he had learned, Pedro made out a name he already knew, Rua del Sol. Suddenly he understood. Everyone, I can read. So he was walking to a street, and he looked at the street sign and realized it said Rua del Sol. That was his street. He could read. The next day when Pedro and his mom arrived at the corner, his mother said, pay attention so you don't miss the bus. Don't worry, Mom, Pedro said. I'm not going to miss it because I know how to read. Even when the bus arrived, Pedro hopped on and happily waved goodbye. His mom said, don't miss your bus. And he goes, don't worry, I can read. I know what I'm doing. So here's Pedro on the bus, looking at all the signs and the letters and on his way to school. There he is reading a sign. The end. Hope you liked it.